Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we are going to break down the absolute fundamentals of HTML. You know, the DNA of pretty much every website you've ever used. We're talking tags and elements, and I promise we're going to make it fun, memorable, and super clear. All right, let's get into it.
I just love this quote from our source material because it's so perfect. It really captures what's going on here. If Chapter 1 was just inventing HTML, Chapter 2 is where all the parts start to interact, build relationships, start a family even, or in our case, a web page.
So here's what's on the docket. We're going to meet HTML tags. Then we'll meet their whole family, the elements. We'll even get into their two very different personalities. And hey, we'll try to have a few laughs along the way.
To really wrap your head around this, I want you to imagine we're not just writing code, we're directing a movie. And every good movie needs actors, right? Well, in the world of HTML, our actors are called tags.
So at its core, a tag is actually incredibly simple. It's just an instruction. It's a command wrapped in those famous angle brackets that tells the web browser what to do. Is this a heading, a paragraph, an image? The tag is what sets the scene.
So let's stick with our movie metaphor for a bit. Every time you see a tag, I want you to picture an actor stepping onto the set, totally ready to play their specific part.
And of course, every actor needs an entrance and an exit, right? Well, the opening tag, like this one for paragraph, that's the actor walking on stage. The closing tag, the one with that little /, that's the actor taking a bow and leaving. It's like a whole little scene right there.
Okay, but that brings up a really good question. We've got our actors making their entrance and their exit, but what's the point? What are they saying? What's their script? Well, that's where our next big idea comes into play.
All right, so now we're going to pull the camera back a bit. We're not just looking at the individual actors anymore, we're looking at the whole scene, the entire family. And this is what we call an HTML element.
This is probably the most important formula to remember. An element isn't just the tag itself. Nope, it's the whole package deal. You've got the opening tag, then the actual content, the text or image or whatever, and finally the closing tag to wrap it all up.
And honestly, our source material has this hilarious way of putting it that's just perfect. If the opening tag is the papa and the closing tag is the mommy, then all the stuff nestled in between them, that's their cute baby. It's the whole reason they're together in the first place.
And here you can see that little family in action. We've got the Papa P tag, the Mummy P tag, and their content, My Name is Divyansh, right there in the middle. That entire unit, all together, that's one complete element.
Now, just like in real life, not all actors behave the same way on set. They've got different personalities, different ways they take up space. And that brings us to the two main types of elements.
On one hand, you've got your block-level elements. Let's just call these the couch potatoes of HTML. Why? Because they just sprawl out across the entire width of the page, taking up the whole line, and they force everything else down to the next line. But then you have your inline elements. These are the polite, good kids. They only take up as much room as they absolutely need, and they're totally cool with sharing the line with others.
So who are these space-hogging couch potatoes? Oh, you definitely know them. They're some of the most common tags you'll ever use. Things like divs, paragraphs, and headings. They all demand their very own line. Their motto is basically, this whole row is mine, go find your own space. So what about the polite good kids? Well, these are your link tags, your span tags, your images. They're the ones that fit neatly right inside a line of text. They just play well with others and don't make a big fuss. They're the well-behaved, efficient members of the HTML family.
Okay, let's just take a quick breath and recap the little movie we've put together in our minds here. We've gone from just a single actor all the way up to a full family scene.
So here's the production timeline. You start with your tags. Those are your actors. Then you give them content. That's their script. And when you put it all together with an opening and closing tag, you get an element. That's the complete, finished scene. And that right there is the fundamental building block of every single website.
So there you have it, the secret lives of tags and elements. You've met the actors, you've met their families, and you even understand their personalities. So the only question left is, now that you have these building blocks, what kind of blockbuster website are you going to direct?